Joining us now on the program is MaryAnn Wilkinson. She's the executive director for the Scarab Club. I will say, the club was founded in 1907. I thought I knew a lot about Detroit, but I'm sorry and embarrassed to say I didn't know about your organization. So can you fill us in?
Well, good morning, Ronnie. Thank you for having me on this morning. Yes, of course. We at the Scarab Club sometimes think of ourselves as the best kept secret in Metro Detroit for that very reason, that there are a lot of people in the metro area who've lived their whole lives here and have never visited or even knew about the Scarab Club. But we were indeed founded in 1907 by a group of male advertising execs and artists who wanted a place to come together and have dinner and draw and exchange ideas about art and probably smoke cigars. And so they founded what was then known as the Hopkin Club, named after one of the artists who was the original founder, Robert Hopkin. And they started in 1907, moved around the city and met in various places, and finally put together the money in 1928 to build a building. So we have a 3-story building that is just east of the DIA. We're on the corner of John R. and Farnsworth. We preferred not to think of it as behind the DIA, as people say sometimes, but next to. But we have a very beautiful historic building. We're a historic landmark, in fact, that is open to the public 5 days a week, and where we love to have visitors. So I hope when you're downtown again, you'll stop in and see what we're doing.
You know, one of the things I think is great about the show is we are able to highlight organizations such as yours. Maybe people didn't know you existed, such as myself, and I was in Detroit every single day for how many years? And with that, are you open right now to the public?
We are. We closed for 4 months in mid-March, but we opened again in mid-July. We, like all of the other organizations in the Cultural Center, we all opened on the same day, on July 10th. We are open to the public 5 days a week, 12 to 5, Wednesday through Sunday, with the exception of this week when we won't be open tomorrow. But we are what the Scarab Club is, and a lot of people don't think that they can come in because they think we're a private club. Mm-hmm. And it started out that way, but we're a long way from that now. We have about 500 members, and that's part of how we support our programming is through memberships. They're primarily artists, but also people who are really interested in the arts. Because in our building, we have exhibitions going all the time. We have lectures and performances, concerts, recitals. We do professional workshops for artists. We do all sorts of things to promote art, to support the artist community, and to give people who are interested in art a way to start to think about being an artist or being a collector.
So I love that. It's a community. Basically, it's a community. So you said you were open right now. Is it limited capacity? Do people have to have an appointment to come in? How is that working?
Well, actually, we're kind of excited because we're opening our holiday show this afternoon at noon, which is known as the Gold Medal Show. And this is the 107th Gold Medal Show that we're presenting. And it is for members only. They submit their work and it's juried. And the winner, the best in show, gets an actual gold medal that is the same design that we've used since about 1917, I think. So it's pretty exciting. It's a pretty big deal. It's always a really wonderful show. But for visitors to come, you do not need to make an appointment. We do limit our capacity to 20 people an hour because we're a pretty small building. Visitors must wear a mask the entire time they are in the building, and they must complete a health questionnaire that we're required to do by the city for contact tracing. So it's not shared with anybody until or unless someone comes down with the virus, and then we have to get in touch with people. So we have put in a lot of safeguards to keep people from getting sick when they come into our building. We have hand sanitizers all over the place. We have beefed up our ventilation, and we have a one-way passage through the building so that people can keep distance from each other.
MaryAnn, can you talk a little bit about how this pandemic has impacted artists overall? Because for so many of them, they rely on the summer art fairs, organizations and events like that, public events, in order to make a living. What are you seeing on your end about the impact that the COVID-19 crisis is having on some of the artists?
Well, the tough thing for the Scarab Club and for its members is that we are primarily a place where people come to see each other. They come to meet, to see exhibitions, to talk about art. And it's really hard to do that when you can only have a few people or no people at one time. And so many artists find that they are stuck in their studios, and, you know, talking to each other via Zoom is just really not cutting it. But one thing that we have done is to really beef up our online presence, like so many arts organizations have. So we first started out when we were closed. We had an online show called Lockdown, where we asked artists to submit work that they were doing in the studio when they couldn't go anyplace else. So that was very, very popular. We got lots of submissions. And since then, even though we have physical exhibitions going on again, we also have virtual exhibitions on our website, and that has really fueled sales. The last couple of months, we've sold a lot more art than we did in the early part of the year. And I think it's because people can see it both online, and when they come to the club, they can see the real thing. So we're trying really hard to support our artists, but it's tough. It's tough out there for everybody.
I do think the general public likes that behind the scenes look. They feel like they're getting special access. But from an artist standpoint, it also kind of adds to their story.
Absolutely. We have a video program now on our website called In the Studio, where we've asked artists to do a kind of ad hoc studio tour around their studio that they can film however they wish. And they're really fun, and they tell you so much about an artist that is more than just looking at a single work of art. It's really pretty incredible and lots of fun to check out.
So you had mentioned you, like so many of the artists and other organizations across the country and the state of Michigan, are trying to up their online presence. Well, what do you think is going to be the one positive thing that's come out of COVID-19 and this crisis that maybe is going to be a benefit that you'll keep around?
We know that we will never go back to not having an online presence. We hadn't really paid much attention to our website or to online programming until this happened, and we were forced to immediately pivot and go to an online presence and develop some new programming. And we will never go back from that, I am sure, because it's such a great complement to the physical programming that we're doing. We just started a program. Well, I should back up and say that one of the things that the Scarab Club has always been known for is that we are a place where people can come and sketch from an actual model. And if you're not a student, it's hard to find, especially in this area. But the Scarab Club has done it for decades. And of course, that came to a screeching halt when we closed in March. But we've started up now a Zoom sketch session where the model is in the Scarab Club with a moderator who poses him or her and times it. And artists can sign up and come onto the session via Zoom. And even once we go back to being able to have in-person sketch sessions again, I'm sure that we will keep the virtual ones. They've been very, very popular.
Yeah, because have you been able to reach people well beyond the regional area that maybe you wouldn't have reached before?
Oh, for sure. And when we closed in April, one of our first programs was a piano recital that was supposed to happen the first weekend of April. We have a historic piano, and it's kind of a treat for pianists to do a program on it. But the pianist who runs that program was stuck in Sweden. She couldn't travel because it was closed down. So she did her program virtually from a black box studio that she found in Malmö, the city in Sweden where she was stuck. And she did the program online. And we got so many more viewers than we could ever have accommodated in the club itself. It was really a great success, even though it had some technical glitches like they all did, at the beginning of these virtual programs. So we've learned from those kinds of experiences that people haven't given up on the arts, and they really need the arts in their life, especially now when you can't get together with family and friends in the same way.
Yeah, it is a comfort for so many people to have that creative outlet. MaryAnn Wilkinson with us here quickly before we let you go. Can you let people know the location or how they can find out more if they want to come down and visit or even check out some of your online exhibitions and events that you have going on?
Absolutely. Our website is www.scarabclub, SCARABCLUB.org. Our address is 217 Farnsworth Street. We're at the corner of Farnsworth and John R., next to the big DIA parking lot.
It was so crazy. I passed you so many times and didn't realize that that's what you were. So I am definitely putting you on my must visit list.
Thank you. And we're open 12 to 5, Wednesday through Sunday.
And will you be open this weekend as well?
Yes, we will not be open tomorrow, but we'll be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, our regular hours, and no appointment is necessary.
Well, great to have you with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. We appreciate you and say thank you to your entire team. And we wish you the best of luck as COVID-19 crisis continues. But a vaccine is around the corner, and let's hope this pandemic comes to an end as well.
Let's hope so. Thank you for having me, Ronnie, and happy Thanksgiving.